Hi everyone, and welcome to the Taurus April 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or better said, to find where you fit. So welcome everybody. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome and thank you for watching. So this reading specifically is meant to help you find the meaning in a challenge that you are currently experiencing so that you can better understand why. Why are you being asked to engage with this challenge and to overcome it? What is it going to illuminate for you about your unique path and purpose, and help to unlock some aspect of yourself that is needed to be brought out to help elevate a certain part of the collective human experience? So what I'm going to do to start here with is we're going to take a look at first your internal energy. So what are you bringing into April? What are you starting the month with? And then I'll pull some cards, or a card, whatever comes out, to take a look at what's going on in your external energy. So we'll see what's going on around you in the month of April, and why, Spirit, what's the underlying lesson or challenge that you're going through that is going to basically be asking you to engage your internal energy with your external environment. All right, so, ooh, okay, so we have two cards that came out. Oh, three, actually. Interesting, as one just jumped out there at the last minute. So we have the Ace of Pentacles that came up, which is interesting, and two cards that came out face down. And so we have the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Coins. So I'm going to put those out here, kind of almost like sandwiching this Ace of Pentacles. Really interesting. So that's what you're starting with. Moving on an internal level, this is what you're starting with. And now I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to pull some cards to take a look at what's going on in your external energy. What's going on around you? Basically, what is Spirit asking you to engage with? Why are we wanting to bring awareness to some aspect of ourselves to be able to then bring it out and engage with a part of our external environment? Okay, so we have one that came up. This is a large chunk that came up face down. I'm not going to take all of those. So we have the Moon. Which is beautiful energy, but also I'm kind of getting an understanding here of what you're being asked to do. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. So this is your kind of underlying lesson, or what you're going to kind of illuminate for yourself as you engage these energies together. So right off the bat here, Taurus, as we move into April, you have a gift. The Ace of Pentacles is a tangible, physical gift. It's a fresh start. This can be something literally like seed money for a new business endeavor. This could be where you get a gift from somebody that helps you maybe illuminate some aspect, or let's put it this way. This could be something like where you are given a book, and in reading that book, it strikes up some idea for yourself, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is kind of the answer to my prayer, so to speak. Or this could be where you're given the gift of maybe you and somebody else have recently moved into a home, and the gift is that in the location that you've moved to, that now you have the opportunity in the physical of all the abundance around you that you didn't have before. Maybe the abundance of new neighbors, the abundance of new connections that are going to help open up a path forward for you, or even all of the, even just what I would call natural abundance around you. Maybe there's the ability now for you to kind of get out into nature and experience just the beauty that's there. It might allow you to free some aspect of yourself. Now, the two cards that came out face down are the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. And this is, the Three of Pentacles is a card of building with others, with a unified vision. And the Nine of Pentacles is one where we are enjoying a level of independence. This is where we are kind of in the comfort zone of, we are in a good place. We have, a lot going for us, but in order for us to go kind of the one step further from the Nine of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles, which is our ultimate legacy, and to close out a cycle, that we have to understand we can't stay in our walled garden. We can't stay in our comfort zone. We can enjoy the fruits of our labor and the independence we have, a certain level of physical independence that we have, but we now have to go out in search of that last pentacle. And this is that last pentacle. So there's something really here that strongly ties to a legacy with this Ace of Pentacles coming through. So this is something where if you have, and this is really the card of collaboration. So there's something here about possibly that could be something that's going on either internally for yourself, meaning that you're kind of mulling over with this little bit of a gift from the divine, who you can work with and what you can grow with it, and how you can utilize what you already have to elevate this Ace of Pentacles. This would almost be like being given the extra pentacle and realizing it's not something that can be planted in this garden, but you can go out and use the resources from what you've already planted to plant this and allow it to grow. So there's this feeling here of understanding the importance of this and realizing that sometimes things can grow faster when we work together, when we work with others who might have a differing skill set than we do, but that yet still have the same vision in mind. And there is something around having a resource to tap into that you can kind of bring to the scenario, but it might mean that you have to invest something. I wouldn't be surprised in this reading if the Four of Pentacles come out, because I'm getting that information a little bit, or that I'm getting that message kind of coming through here. So the moon in your external environment is basically the unknown. It is that looking towards the future and being a little scared that you can't see it clearly, that there is this feeling of the way is not fully lit. And so you kind of are being asked to take what you're feeling, take the gift you've been given, because the Ace of Pentacles always comes directly from Spirit. The aces are a fresh start. The aces are also a gift. And we can either choose through our free will to utilize that gift, or we can choose to either not see it as a gift and kind of turn our back on it, or be too afraid to invest in the gift and utilize it out in our external environment. And right now, I think that's kind of what you're being challenged to do, is to say you do have a gift, and somewhere within you, you know it's a gift, and you know you want to share it with others, and you are realizing that you do have some aspect of something about yourself. And again, pentacles can be anything tied to the physical. This could even just be your experience, your work experience, that you've gone through so much and you actually have like a wealth of work experience to apply towards something. It doesn't have to just be like money or actual things that you can apply. It can also be anything that you can actually bring forward and utilize in the physical. And why are you being asked to, even with the road unknown and even with the way being unclear, why are you being asked to move forward with finding people to help collaborate with you, to find a way to utilize this wealth that you have currently and to help grow this fresh seed, this beautiful gift from the divine? It's meant to help show you and bring in people with you who are going to allow you to connect on an equal footing. The beautiful thing about the Two of Cups is it's not just about two people coming together and sharing something. It's about two people coming together equally and vulnerably as well. There is this feeling of coming forward with your cup and somebody is sharing their cup, which the cup holds our emotions. It also holds divine love. And with the Two of Cups coming forward, there's a feeling here of really connecting kind of on that soul-based level with others, and others who again will share your vision and who will want to help utilize what's in their cup. When you think of the cups holding water and emotion, that's what nurtures a seed when we plant it in the physical, is our emotional attention to it. It is the water that is going to nurture the earth. So there is this feeling of you coming together, finding those who are going to help grow this seed. And helping realize that, you know, Taurus, and I am a Taurus sun. I also have a Mars placement in Taurus, so I hold a lot of Taurus energy. There is, sometimes we want to resist having to work with others or having to rely on others, and to realize that sometimes we can't do it the best by ourselves. We are kind of workhorses. We are the workhorses of the Zodiac, but we can't always do it alone. And we can get into this place of sometimes where we feel like, well, at least I can control my actions. I don't really want to rely on others because I can't really control how fast they're going to work, how dedicated they're going to be to the work, and yada and yada. And we can put on all of these other varying levels of, you know, kind of excuses as to why we don't want to delegate, or we don't want to invest in something and have other people kind of tied to what we want to do. But ultimately, in the end, when you think about building anything or raising anything, it always is going to involve other people, because that is part of our life experience. We are deeply connected to other people, and we need to connect ourselves, who we are, to others, to feel like we are of use, to see our purpose, and to really feel like we understand our place. So this is kind of that bigger lesson of like, we have to learn to work with others, but we also have to learn or be aware that there are others who are just like us and who will bring something to the table that actually elevates a gift that we have. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and pull additional cards here to really kind of dive into the blocks, the challenge part, in kind of why you're like hesitant to take this gift and just run with it, and to go out there and find others who want to work with it as well. Okay, so we have the moon coming up again. So we have Two of Pentacles as your main challenge. We have the moon, Princess of Cups. And the Princess of Cups in this deck is the Page of Cups, which is beautiful. I love that that energy is coming up to the heart of your reading here. That really does tie directly into the Two of Cups here. We have the Ace of Cups, beautiful. So it's all about moving into that place of emotion. You know, this is all pentacles here. And, you know, Taurus, you are a sign that you're an earth sign, and you do deal in the realm of the physical. I'm going to take the High Priestess. The rest of this is a little too much here. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is, and actually, you know what, I'm going to take, just because I saw it and it's sticking out in my mind, I'm going to take this as a clarifier there. So there really is this feeling of this month of understanding your abilities lie in the physical, and your gift is coming in the physical, which is beautiful. It is within your wheelhouse to utilize and to work with. But really what Spirit's asking you, the challenge this month, is can you not only yourself emotionally invest in this, but can you also emotionally connect this with other people? And can you connect with them on the same emotion to build something together or to grow something together? So it's kind of a lesson in moving away from just what you can feel and touch and see to moving into the realm of emotions to help kind of water this tangible gift here. So you're in your main challenge position. You have the Two of Pentacles, and this really denotes juggling. This denotes kind of being wrapped up. Your attention is kind of taken away from, I think, really being able to focus on one pentacle and dedicate time and energy to that, in that you are doing too much in your day-to-day. You're trying to do a little of this, a little of that. I can do it all myself. And when we're juggling 2 pentacles, when you think about it, at any given time, we're having to prioritize one over the other, even though they are equal. So there is something to be said here about clarifying for yourself how you want to prioritize your time. And maybe you do have 2 options. Maybe that's what you're sitting with. Maybe one is a gift and one is something you've been working with already. And this is, the Ace of Pentacles is something new. So there is something fresh here that's come in recently that you're being asked to work with. And you might not want to give up the old for the new, if that makes sense. Because right after that, we have the moon again. So there's this feeling here of I don't want to let go of what I've always done. I don't want to let go of my routine, or I don't want to let go of what I've already put work into to take this new opportunity, because the way is not clear. But the beautiful thing about the moon is that the moon really is, I always look at the moon as kind of the other half of Judgment card in the tarot, in that there is this feeling of being called up and out of a comfort zone and being asked on a deep intuitive level, can you trust yourself to walk this path on faith now that you're feeling the call? It's more like with Judgment, I feel like it is a rebirth, and it's hearing the call, seeing the call, experiencing the call. The moon really is feeling the call. You might not understand where it's coming from, but you feel within you, it's time for me to leave. It's time for me to, as you can see this lobster here, move away from an environment I'm comfortable with which is the ocean, to move up onto dry land and to follow a path that I don't even know if it's going to be safe for me. I don't know if what I'm going to experience out there, but yet you are being drawn on an emotional level towards something. And so there really is this feeling of what Spirit is asking you to utilize in order to kind of overcome this fear of letting something go and kind of stopping the chaos of the juggle of the day-to-day, and to lean into starting this new journey on faith, is the Princess of Cups. And the Page of Cups in the tarot really speaks to putting your emotional self out there in an innocent way. It's almost like when you think of a child who runs up to you and is like, hey, look at this. I love it. It's my favorite thing. Like, don't you love it too? Like, that's the energy of the Page of Cups. It's this beautiful energy where around love, around what you love, and around sharing it in a way that's enthusiastic, that's also open and curious, that you could share with another to say, I love this. Do you have are there any ways that I can expand on this? Like, do you also love this? Can we do it together? There's that element of just really leaning into the beauty of what you love, of what you're emotionally makes you excited. Because on the other side of that, we have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups together with the Ace of Pentacles is a gift from the divine coming together. This is a gift of new love. This is also the remembrance that our cup always overfloweth from love from the divine. And this is also the unconditional love between us and the divine for who we are as a unique individual, imperfections and all. So this is basically being given the gift of that reconnection to new love to help water, and the emotional connection to help water the physical gift that you've been given. So there's this feeling of kind of going back into almost this childlike sense of wonder and awe again at what makes you excited about life, what makes you want to share with others what you love about life, and then really diving into this new gift. Now this gift here could literally be that as you're connecting with somebody else, you literally do get a chance for new love. This could be you connecting with an individual who maybe not only wants to share in this gift, but they want to share with it in a way where they become your romantic partner. This could be like where maybe you have been thinking for a while about moving into a home, and you've been saving, and all of a sudden maybe you got a giant tax rebate, or you got a gift from an inheritance, something along those lines, where now you have the ability to actually go out and purchase the home of your dreams, or just a home that is going to allow you to start working on the steps towards building the family and the life that's going to allow you to emotionally connect to your experience, what's going to feel fulfilling to you. And you might have to work with others to do that. Maybe you have to, call up your aunt who's a real estate agent, and you have to talk to your brother who's a contractor, and you have to utilize all of the money you've already saved to go ahead and make use now of this additional gift on top of that. And then this would be if you go out there and do it in a kind of optimistic way, and you don't get tied up in all of the little petty things of like, well, I can't move now because I'm too busy at my job. And once this project wraps up, maybe then I'll take a look at it. But I have to make dinner tonight, and I have to vacuum my house, and then I have to go out and meet friends, and then I have to finish this project at work, and maybe I'll do some online research about homes later. When in reality, it's like, no, give your aunt that call, who's a real estate agent. Go ahead and start taking a look at where you want to move. It's one of those things where it's almost like, no, stop with all these excuses and start to actually put the plan in place to move towards what you already probably have been wanting. Well, you already maybe have been in your mind, in your heart of hearts, like hoping is going to happen. And so by doing that, by kind of moving forward with this kind of innocent, this is going to make me so happy to do this, and I want to share my excitement about this with others, it's going to bring in this chance of reconnection to love, whether it is literally bringing in an individual who is going to share in that with you, like new love, or whether this is going to be a renewal of love between you and a partner already existing, or whether this is going to be you deepening connections with new connections who are going to help you. This could be new business partnerships. This could be new people within your community that you're meeting, or your neighborhood. And then we have the High Priestess as your final challenge. The High Priestess is kind of that feeling of when you know, you know. It's the reminder that all answers lie within, that we always hold the book of universal knowledge that we can tap into. And it is one of deep knowing, of really understanding that we, it's the number 2 in the tarot, and it also denotes another decision. So you have 2 of Pentacles and you have the High Priestess. Both is kind of like the lower version of this card here. Is the 2 of Pentacles, where you're kind of like making a decision in the physical as you choose to prioritize one task over another. The High Priestess says, take that up a notch. Take that up a notch onto a spiritual plane of where do you really feel called to put your time and energy towards? And you may not feel like you have all the answers, but if you were asked to make a decision, nothing external is going to actually help you make that decision. You have to make that decision, and ultimately you know where to prioritize. You know where you want to prioritize your time. Now the Ten of Swords kind of came out there with that big chunk of other cards, and the Ten of Swords really kind of stuck out to me. That's why I kept it out here. The Ten of Swords is when we have been to that lowest point in our life, where we have really felt like, wow, we can't get any lower. That it's like almost like life just keeps blow after blow after blow. There's this sense of overkill with the Ten of Swords. But the beauty of it is that it also denotes the ending of a cycle, that you have come to that point. And why there is light shining through him there is because what you realize as you come out of that cycle is you walk away with just one sword. The rest of the swords fall away, which are the swords of worry and wounding, and you walk forward triumphantly with your sword of new truth, of your new reconnection to truth. And that's the light, the illumination that came through and moving through that difficult cycle. And so there's something here around, I think there's some deep wounding around a difficult period in your life, and that's what's preventing you from wanting to make this decision. The decision ultimately you need to make, what you need to move towards, but you're choosing not to because of this remembrance of the past, of the pain, of the hurt. And this is saying it's not about forgetting the pain and the hurt of the past. It's about realizing the lessons learned in that, and to realize you overcame it. And you have a new new sense of your own self and your own truth, and carry that forward into the unknown. It's almost like you're being armed with a weapon, and I don't want to say it in a way that's going to be triggering for some of you, but it is. Spirit is gifting you with a sword of truth to allow you to be triumphant as you move into the unknown, because you know who you are, you know the truth of what you're capable of. You also know the truth of what you want and what you're no longer going to put yourself through. Okay, so Taurus, I'm going to now pull 3 cards down here for what I call the Triad of Engagement, which is a coaching tool I utilize to take what is a very general message here and kind of bring it down into more of an individualized message for you, so that we are working with the 3 principles of curiosity, courage, and contemplation. And we're going to be building in questions or points of awareness that you can keep for yourself in mind throughout the month of April to, again, allow channels for Spirit through these questions or points of awareness to kind of bring in those aha moments or moments of illumination and clarity. So we're starting here with a card for curiosity, and this is what Spirit would like us to be curious and open to for the month of April. What is something that we are currently unaware of that Spirit would like us to become aware of? Actually, this looks like this wants to come out, so I'm going to go ahead and indecision. Okay. All about choices here. So the number 8 with indecision. I always like that this card is paired with the number 8, because the number 8 is a number that represents really standing in your personal power. It's about leading from a place of personal power. It also can denote creativity, which I always enjoy, but it is a card also, or a number that also talks about physical abundance. So there's something here about indecision, whether this is around you wanting to, having to give up physical abundance, or something around, I think, where you tie, and this is what's strongly coming through, where you tie what you have physically to how you see yourself from a sense of empowerment. Meaning, I think there's a part of your experience that you feel you have to kind of cling to in the physical. Like, I have to have this, or I have to be seen in this way by others in the physical, because it directly links to how I feel powerful about myself, to the confidence that I have. So what I would say as you're moving through the month of April is to, where you feel like maybe, you're kind of juggling and you don't want to make that decision and you're not quite sure if you want to work with others. This could even denote that you're starting out the month with an opportunity that somebody maybe has already contacted you and is like, hey, let's work together. I have this idea. I have this thing that's already kind of going on. Do you want to invest? Do you want to invest your time or energy or your money towards this? And you're like, and this could be literally a work opportunity where you might have to make the decision to walk away from a job you've been at for a while, or you might have to put things in place. You might actually have to go ahead and hire the housekeeper or realize you're going to have to eat out for a while and not make dinner at home every night, because you have to give up something physical that you're doing to be able to really capitalize on this new opportunity. And so you're in this point of indecision. But I'd say where to be curious about, where Spirit wants to kind of come in for you and make you aware of something that you're not clearly aware of at this point, is when you're trying to make that decision, what are you so afraid of losing in the physical that is going to directly tie back to the confidence you have in yourself? And then to take that one step further and be even more curious about where that confidence in self is tied directly to a wound of the past. That fear of, well, the last time I invested in a house, I lost that house in a divorce. Or the last time I went after somebody else's idea and we tried to work together to build a business, it just, you know, took a big belly flop and I lost something in the process. To kind of think about it like that. So really look at like why you don't want to make that decision, kind of the fear and the wounding around what has happened in the past versus how you see yourself from a place of true confidence and feeling truly empowered. Okay. And then I'm going to pull a card now for the concept of courage. And this is where Spirit would like you to be aware of where you need to have courage to take action. What do you need to know about where you need to take action this month? And, you know, it really does take courage to make those, no matter how small the decision is, to take some form of action. It always involves courage, you know, especially when we're talking about just juggling the day-to-day, the little things. It takes courage for us to say, you know what, I know I'm always the one that cleans the house, or I'm always the one that stays an extra hour late, or I'm the one that's always available for anybody to call me up and ask for advice, but I need to have the courage to prioritize my time. Oh, interesting. Of course, this comes up. Perfect. And I need to prioritize my time. I need to prioritize, you know, yeah, maybe I am always one that cleans the house, but I actually, instead of doing that, I can better put my time and effort and my skill set towards something else that could be of true value to not only myself, but maybe the people around me as well. So we have two. I love that surrender the habit of people pleasing came out. It says, speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. This is beautiful. This is that feeling of when we come back to knowing in the moment what we need, and we are clear on that, and we're able to express that. The moving into partnerships is not scary because we are able to express our needs, and very clearly, if that person doesn't want to meet those needs or expresses that they can't meet them, that's when we have that deep understanding of, okay, well, it doesn't feel right to me, then I'm going to move on. It prevents you from having to, let's say, go through this wounding process again of like, well, you know, I knew it wasn't really right the first time, but I did it anyways. And most likely the reason why you did it to begin with and you didn't feel right about it to begin with was because somewhere deep down inside you were not expressing your own needs, and you kind of like allowed somebody else to kind of, you know, you skirted around that. You're like, well, I guess I don't really need to live there, or I guess I really don't need to have the final say in this work project, or I guess I don't really need. And then what happens is, then with every need that's not met, the more and more frustrated and unhappy you get. So this is really about your not only allowing yourself to get to a place of personal empowerment to where you understand yourself, what you need, and you're clear on that, to allow you to connect openly and honestly, to allow those who also connect with you on the same level to come forward to you. But it just allows you to really kind of cut out the BS, so to speak. You don't have to kind of keep going around and around and around of like, well, you know, this is like where you get rid of the passive aggressive, and you're just like, this is what I need, and let's work together to see how this need can be met. And then we have surrender to wonder and awe. And it says, open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. And I'm getting really strong energy around for you guys. Really surrendering. When we think about surrendering to wonder and awe, it's surrendering to the knowledge that there's always an element of pleasant surprise that comes in of, you know, we may think that like, oh, well, the way is unclear, and we fill our view of that with all of the bad things that we don't know could happen. And this is saying, in order for you to kind of step into that place where you have the courage to start to take action towards this and to start to prioritize and make big decisions, to surrender to wonder and awe as to what are the possibilities. Why are you being given this gift, and what can it possibly grow into? What's the bigger picture here? And what magic is going to come out of the blue to help you grow this gift? Okay. And now I'm going to pull a final card here for the concept of contemplation. And this is where we're going to take a look at what Spirit would like you to reflect on for the month of April. Ooh, okay, wow. 2 cards just kind of flew out there. So we have Keepers of the Earth. It says, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And we have Birthing a New Age. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a kind of a storm going on outside, and the wind is just crazy. But I think that was kind of an interesting interesting timing for that gust of wind with, you know, dreaming a new world into being. There's this really strong feeling here with this birthing new creations and birthing a new age that, you know, with this Aries new moon that's coming up tomorrow, this really, with all the timing that's happening and the planetary alignments and where they're located, there is this kind of, I'm not going to say, it is kind of like a cosmic reset for everybody, but it is this feeling of we are entering a new age. It is almost like we're entering into the age of, if we went back in time and went through the Renaissance period, or if we would go through some time where things, they changed dramatically, but did so in little increments, to where if you were actually living in that moment, you wouldn't really notice the giant, I'd say, epic change that's happening around you. And so there is something to be said about that, that as we're all kind of moving into that place, this kind of changing of the guard into something new and fresh, that you're part of that. You're being given a part of that to plant and to nurture, and that this is part of this new age that's coming in. Now, you may not see the full picture of what this will be within your lifetime, but that's kind of where you have to understand that, you know, you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you, and this is where we kind of have to understand our place in that as well, that what we do today will echo forward into the future. And so what we choose to focus on and who we choose to work with and where we choose to really lean into this place of emotional connection to our life, it will allow us to help be a creative force in what is to come in a positive way. And I think it's interesting about Keepers of the Earth. There is this really strong tie to, you know, Taurus, obviously you are an earth sign and you are fixed earth. So there is this deep connection to physical earth, to Gaia, as many would call it. And it's almost like whatever you're working on, it's meant to help balance some aspect of our actual in like physical environment or some type of thing in the realm of ecology. So for some of you that might be a very specific message. So if there's something around like working with the planet in some capacity on that level, or growing some aspect of something that's going to kind of help, you know, this could be like getting into new farming methods or doing something that really ties directly back to the earth, the physical earth, the land, and how we work within it, live within it, use it, and allow it to help nourish the human experience. There could be a deeper message for you here, that there is something around your specific path and purpose. All right, but Taurus, I'm going to leave you there. This month is really all about getting into your feels, diving into the emotions, and remembering that life is meant to feel fun, to feel connected, to feel like you get to see the best part of yourself experienced in your physical environment and to share that with others. All right. If you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to both yourself and others, I am running a special for the entire month of April on my website, which is special for the 1 hour I Am Illuminated reading. It will be discounted in price all throughout the month of April. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about who you are, what you're meant to do, and how you're meant to do it, that's a great way to start that process. And it's a great way to kind of start this cosmic reset that's happening for all of us on an energetic and spiritual level. All right, if I don't see you there for a personal reading, I look forward to seeing you in May for the May Illumination reading. Bye, Taurus.